episode of the new year, 2018.
Woo-hoo!
Can you believe it?
Yay.
Can you believe it? When I was growing up, Hollywood wanted us to believe that 2018 America was going to be this dystopian world like the Hunger Games, people fighting like gladiators for food, or laser guns just to win a bowl of maybe porridge from the robot overlords or from clones or something. You know that what movies are set around 2018, right? I mean, like...
Sure, I think I remember Blade Runner.
That's 2019.
Okay.
Close, though, not bad.
Then how about Terminator?
Yeah, a couple of the Terminator. There's a lot of Terminator movies now, but a couple of the Terminator movies are actually set in 2018. Good. What else?
How about Rollerball?
Wait a minute. You're too young to know about Rollerball. That came out in 1975. Weren't you born in 1975?
It came out before I was born.
You read my monologue ahead of time, didn't you?
I wasn't even born when that movie came out, so maybe.
The point is, these movies all painted the future, which back then was now.
Back then, the future was now. Okay, I understand. Got it.
You got it? You're
I got
following?
It. Had to
Back
think
then,
it
the
through.
future was now. Anyway, Hollywood painted the future, our present day, as this dark, corporate, computer-controlled, dystopian world run by clones and robots.
So are you saying Hollywood blew it? Because maybe, I don't know.
I'm saying they're off by a few decades. It'll eventually get there. But who knows? The legislative session doesn't even start yet, so anything can happen.
Another week.
Yeah, we got another week, and then the 2018 election cycle is right after that, so it might be even more crazy, and then more crazy than, say, 2016 with Donald Trump. I mean, who knows? I mean, some people think it's already that dystopian future.
But speaking of the 2018 governor's race and clones and things like that, you posted an interesting story earlier this week about Ron DeSantis.
Yes, the text message, right? Nice
Yes.
foreshadowing with the clone comment.
Yeah,
I like
there you
it.
go.
Congressman Ron DeSantis sent out a blast text message targeting Republican supervoters.
So I pause right there. What exactly is a Republican supervoter? Because I didn't get this text
you wouldn't
message.
know, would you?
And I should be. By definition,
You're clearly not one if you
I
didn't
am.
get this text message.
I should have gotten this message. That's all I'm saying.
You voted in all 4 of the last Republican primaries.
I've been a registered Republican since the age of 22.
Voting for Gary Johnson doesn't count.
Of course it
Green
does.
Party. We're not talking about Green Party. We're not talking about
But nobody knows how you vote. They only know what party
You're
you're
not
registered with
libertarian.
and whether or not you voted, which they
but
know.
Republican
I'm
supervoter.
registered Republican. I have voted in every election since the age of 18, so...
Maybe they already knew that you were going to vote for DeSantis.
Then they need
They've
to...
already got you locked in
They
the
need
vault.
to redefine super Republican, super voter, because clearly I'm not one and I thought I was. So
All I know is the fact of the matter is the text message that was blasted out
Sure.
came across to my attention, came across a phone that was then shared with me.
Okay, and
So I'm also a super voter, by the way. I didn't get the text message on one of my phones, but I also pay for many phone lines. So I'll leave it at that.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyway,
I want my text message, that's all I'm saying.
yeah. At any rate,
Whatever. What exactly...
you might be a super voter.
what's
the
the
point
definition?
is, the way it's defined is, I believe this. I'll have to maybe check with my
Okay.
consultant friends. But I believe they're voters who voted in all 4 of the last 4 Republican primaries. They are the most reliable of Republican voters. Now, that said, who knows how big of a universe they targeted? There might be, say, hundreds of thousands, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a million super voters. I doubt it. I don't know. But,
Who knows? Yeah.
But
But
they might have only targeted a slice of those, and you weren't included in the slice. So
Well,
don't take offense.
My cell phone number is very valuable. I make people pay for it, so that's probably what happened. They didn't want to pay for my number.
Yeah. Like Brian Pitts, the 900 number.
That's right.
Brian Pitts, the lobbyist, the 900 number. Last week's segment, and maybe you can pick up on that
He's
later.
not a lobbyist. He's a citizen activist.
Yeah, and a 900 number operator.
He at one point he was. Okay, so basically going back, so Ron DeSantis wants everyone to know what? Something about him and Trump?
He willing to pay for the fact that he wants every Republican super voter to know that Donald Trump tweeted something endorsing his candidacy for governor. So
Is that a good thing?
he spent money to make sure. Well, I mean, he thinks so.
Okay.
He spent money to make sure that Republicans in Florida, the Republican base, knew that. So he spent money out of his.
Okay, so your story said he spent money out of his federal campaign account.
Right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it does strike me as weird, but if I understand it correctly, still legal.
I suspect it's one part of him trying to pretend that he's not officially a candidate, and one part the fact that he's not officially a candidate.
Okay, yeah, that makes so much sense.
What I mean is he's using his federal campaign account for 2 reasons. The first is so that he can pretend he's still not a candidate, and the second reason he's using that account is because he can do so legally. Since he's not saying vote for me for governor, he's basically just saying, hey, look at how much Donald Trump really likes me. So I think that's perfectly legal within the law.
So it sounds like you're in the mine. Of Ron DeSantis.
I am a powerful and influential figure in Florida political media, so people call me and they give me inside information.
I'm just going to laugh now. I'm not going to make a comment. I'm just going to laugh.
You don't believe me. I can tell. I can tell.
Of course.
You're taunting me now.
I work with you. I believe you.
I see the skepticism in your face. But just to prove you wrong,
Okay.
I'm going to prove to you that I'm totally dialed in to Ron DeSantis' campaign. I know this is exciting, I've got exclusive access to a major announcement from the congressman himself.
Really?
Today.
Oh.
Right now.
Okay. And?
Yeah, that's right. You're not looking so skeptical now, are you?
Well, let's see.
Sam, take us to the big DeSantis announcement. This is live video footage of DeSantis. Roll it.
As long as you want.
Thank you for joining me on this brisk morning in Florida's capital city as I make a major announcement about my future and the future of Florida.
Uh-huh.
Our state faces many challenges, and though our economy has recovered the last 8 years, thanks in part to Rick Scott's relentless focus on job creation, there's still so much more to be done to help Florida's families. From raising the average wage to lowering the
Sam,
cost
can
of
you skip ahead to the announcement part?
That is why it is with great humility that I say these next words. After consulting with my wife and family, I am officially postponing any decision on whether or not to run until further notice. Because unlike Adam Putnam, running for governor isn't something that you just run off willy-nilly to do. No, I'm going to take my time and think about this some more so that I can be sure it's the right thing to do, not only for me, but for all of Florida. Thank you, and God bless the great state of Florida.
Wow. Wow. Huge. Huge announcement from Ron DeSantis right there. Huge. Like I told you, I'm dialed in. I'm dialed into the Ron DeSantis campaign.
So I noticed a bit of a accent there. You don't normally hear that from Ron DeSantis.
You're not buying it?
He needs to work on his accent.
Maybe he's just playing to the panhandle crowd, like Hillary Clinton used to do when she would be like,
And you're just going to play it straight, not going to tell your viewers.
okay. All
That
right.
was really
I don't want
DeSantis'
to.
clone.
This is the whole clone thing. I don't want to freak people out. It's 2018. Maybe that we got clones now. I don't want people to freak out. Look, it is
sure.
kind of a clone situation going on.
Right. It is 2018.
Right. That wasn't really Ron DeSantis.
For clarification.
There are going to be people who actually think that was really Ron DeSantis. So I
Yes,
want to
he-
just clarify.
It is a pretty good
Congressman
clone.
DeSantis and his campaign team, do not call me. Okay, we were just kidding around. That was Tim Parsons from Liberty Partners, and so I want to thank Tim and Liberty for doing that for us. I did introduce him. We introduced him to someone in the Capitol Press Corps, and they could not tell the difference. It was hilarious. But
It was
anyway,
funny.
with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Axio Salt Spa and Juice Bar is the perfect place to begin a new you. Start with the Salt Room experience with Himalayan salt infusion to leave the stress behind. And move to the Salt Chamber to take your reliefs to the next level. We offer massage and facials as well as a complete line of Eminence products to treat your skin. Finish your treatment with an organic juice or smoothie from our juice bar. Axio Salt Spa and Juice Bar, the perfect place to get your relief from the inside out.
Hey, it's Brian Burgess here with the Capitolist. Just wanted to take a moment with session gearing up again, coming into 2018. Wanted to remind everybody about the free Capitolist app that you can download at either the App Store or the Google Play Store. You can get it directly at thecapitalist.com/app. It's more than just a news app. It's more than just my content from the site. It's also got content from all around the state. You can touch the little menu screen, the little red button over there, and it'll give you a bunch of menu options, or you can just slide the screen over. So you've got breaking news from all around the state. Some of the top stories are fit in here from just about every site that covers Florida politics, including floridapolitics.com and on all the legacy news sites, the Tampa Bay Times, the Miami Herald, and Sunshine State News. Even Shark Tank is on here, and of course the Capitalist feeds into this as well. So this is sort of a breaking news feed. Then we've got all your morning news briefings. Sunburn, Politico Playbook. We've even got takeaways from Tally and links to Safety News. We've got Above the Fold from Kevin Kate. Great little addition. So a quick run down the list. You can look up your favorite lobbyist and see who he or she is registered to lobby for. We've also got lobbyist appearances that you can look up. We've got top Twitter streams. We've got a campaign database. You can look up campaign documents, see who's donating to who's spending money on what. We've got links to the Florida channel. You can click on the Florida channel and watch your favorite committee meetings. Very riveting viewing there. So anything that's going on there, all within the app, all one-stop shopping. And then a few other little things, handy tools. You've got Tramel Gomes' podcast is there. And then one of my favorite things is the Capitol Press Guide, which if I wanted to email someone from the Associated Press or the Tampa Bay Times or text them, you can do it all directly within the app. This page is sponsored by Saks Media, but you can go into the Capitol News Service, for example. Click on that. You've got text numbers and emails to all these guys. And then if you want to close that out, you just go to the next news source. Let's say the Florida Times Union. Of course, there's Tia Mitchell's photograph and her. We can text her, we can send her a text. We just tap on that, and it opens up our handy text option, and then we can send spam to Tia. So we've got a lot of different things, a lot of different ways to reach people. It's just a very handy app, one-stop shopping. It's been called the Swiss Army knife of Florida politics. Wanted to make you all aware of it. And of course, my favorite feature is the one where you can send news tips directly to the Capitolist. You can even attach photos and everything else and send it right to us. Protect your identity, be an anonymous source, contribute to society. That's all for now. More later. Download it for free once again at thecapitalist.com/app. Welcome back to The Capitolist. As I mentioned before, it's a huge week in Tallahassee with committee weeks, but it's also big for another reason. The latest issue of Influence magazine is out. Peter Schorsch, the publisher, has joined me. Peter Schorsch is also the publisher of FloridaPolitics.com.
Yes.
A good friend and in some ways a mentor to me. I appreciate you being on the show.
Don't say that on camera.
That's okay. It's all right. I don't mind saying it. And you've got the latest big issue of Influence, and I appreciate you joining me on the show.
Thank you for having me. We actually have a star from television in our... No, not you.
He's a friend of mine. No, I'm just going to say the star that you're talking about is a friend of mine, too.
Right here, Josh Cooper, the master of dark arts in politics, but out front as a great chef on MasterChef, and coming soon to a lot more programs.
Let's talk a little bit about the dark arts.
Well, that's about enough of that.
Politico writer Maggie Haberman once called you a research maven. You've done some presidential work. You've done a lot of stuff in politics, but a lot of people don't know about that stuff. And now, thanks to Peter, you're sort of coming out of the shadows of politics and sort of influencing politics in a different way by cooking for folks in Tallahassee and other folks.
Well, people are a lot more used to talking about food than they are talking about kind of what goes on behind the scenes in politics.
Right.
So, we've been always behind the curtain, so to speak, working in the back dark rooms, but with the cooking and getting out front, that's something that's a lot more palatable for people. So
sometime I'll have you on the show. We'll talk more about political opposition research. You and I worked together on the 2010 campaign with when we helped elect Governor Rick Scott back in 2 terms ago now. And there's some great stories we could share. But today it's all about Influence magazine, and it's about the cooking dish that you had, and you're cooking some chicken for us, I understand?
Yes.
yes, I am. So this recipe, you can get it by getting a copy of Influence magazine or going to FloridaPolitics.com, which is where you can get the digital version. But I cooked this dish for Peter. This is a dish that I kind of took from a famous pitmaster, Myron Mixon. I tweaked it, made it my own, and then actually competed against him at the Tallahassee Pig Fest and beat him with his own recipe.
That's awesome.
So now we've got that recipe. It's in Influence magazine, but to start, what we do is we call it a cupcake chicken. We take cupcake tins and we put in some squeezed butter. And the reason we use the squeezed butter, guys, is because it's got a higher smoke point than regular butter. And so it's not going to burn the skin of the chicken.
Got it.
So that's why we use this. So what we do is we take chicken thighs, we debone the chicken thighs by hand, which I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And then we're going to take them skin side down. We're going to place them in the bone. We're going to place them right into the cupcake tins, skin side down. And the reason we're doing this is, one, it's going to cook the skin and make it bite through so it's not rubbery. It's going to kind of abase the skin a little bit while we cook it. But also it's going to form it into these round cupcakes and makes it look good when we plate it. So that's why we start off with the cupcake tin.
So don't give away all of your trade secrets right now,
got it.
because
No
if you
more.
want to know how to make this particular recipe, you can find it all right there in the latest issue.
InfluenceMagazineFlorida.com.
Right.
You can get a subscription. And the main site, Florida Politics, is constantly updated with political stuff, which is right now it seems like it's drinking from a fire hose.
Now, tell me a little bit more about the latest issue of Influence. It's got a lot of ladies on the cover, and tell me about that.
It's actually a very timely issue. It is literally women rule, and it's about not just some of the best women lobbyists. These are some of the best lobbyists, period. And with all that's going on right now, we wanted to really take a look at how the industry, the governmental affairs industry, has changed, how women are much more part of that process than even a generation ago. And so we identified and talked to about a dozen different females in the process about what's changed, what hasn't changed, the unique situations they face. And I think that you'll see it's, again, with everything that's going on, it's very interesting to get that perspective. It's a male-dominated industry down in the Capitol, and we're trying to break through. As the father of a young daughter, I want her to grow up in a world where it's not, the same issues that some of the ladies in this magazine grew up with.
Without giving it away, is there a story that really jumps out at you that really encapsulates?
Actually, one of the best is the interview with Marion Hammer, one of the most prominent lobbyists in the state. She's in charge of the NRA's lobbying efforts, and she talks about all the lessons that she's learned. And so that's probably the one that's going to be most talked about. Also, we do our year-end lobbying awards. Believe it or not, there are awards for lobbying. We call them the Golden Rotundas, and we named who had the best firm, and this year it was Gray Robinson, but then we identify some other winners, best insurance lobbyists, etc. We haven't come up with trophies yet, but we're getting there.
Right.
So.
Now, the legacy media likes to portray lobbyists as these bad guys, these evil dark arts practitioners. Not what you do, but lobbying in general. They want to portray it as influence peddlers and everything else. New media, such as what you are, what I do these days.
Yeah.
I think we take a little bit different look at it. It's a necessary evil, wouldn't you say, or a necessary component of how things get done.
Well, it's the reality of how things are done. I mean, it's a billion-dollar industry, and there really isn't any reporting on it in traditional media. There's these actors who are in the process that people should know about. Who is a Brian Ballard? And he's probably one of the 5 or 10 most influential people in all of Florida politics, but because he's not an elected official, we don't know who he is, but he's important to know. And that's what influence is really about, is breaking through and finding out how do these, how does how does the sausage get made? Well, it's these guys are the chefs of that industry.
Yeah, that's good stuff. You can catch it all in Influence Magazine. Where are we at with the chicken? I'm getting kind of hungry.
Smells good.
Yeah, let me check it real quick.
Through the magic of television, I think I'm going to get to eat some chicken. So while Josh is getting something out of the oven over there, I wanted to point out that one of the panelists on the Capitolist TV show is Katie Webb, and Katie
Yes.
is on the cover
Yes.
of this issue of Influence Magazine. So congratulations to her. Check it out. Don't forget to pick a copy up. Where can people get a copy or maybe read more about this stuff?
You can pick it up in Midtown Reader, which is right on Thomasville Road in Tallahassee. And then again, you can subscribe. Your subscription, $25, influencemagazineflorida.com.
Nice.
So Josh, what are you up to this election cycle?
Got a bunch of statewide campaigns here in Florida and a couple others across the country that we're working on, doing the research, getting ready for 2018, and also working on some chef stuff that's
Cool.
going to come out next year. So.
Well, let's eat before Election Day.
Absolutely.
I'm ready. It looks pretty tasty.
Voila!
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
Every morning the sun rises in our fair city. A while later, Chris, the late riser, wakens for a day of work and involvement in FSU and community, serving Tallahassee as he has for years. Across town, Brother Peter, the early riser, has already turned on the lights, checked itineraries, and game planned with loyal employees who've been showing up every day for decades. And as the day rolls into business mode, the brothers orchestrate what has come to be recognized as Tallahassee's premier auto dealership, your car dealer, Kraft Nissan.
Located in Midtown Tallahassee, Bella Bella Italian Restaurant is where you'll find delicious, authentic Italian food at an amazing price, served with impeccable attention while enjoying a unique, found only in Tallahassee ambiance. Every day, customers enjoy Bella Bella's signature appetizer, bubble bread, followed by one-of-a-kind specialties or a long-time favorite crafted only at Bella Bella. A Tallahassee landmark, Bella Bella is a family-owned and run business focused on traditional values with the highest standards. Come enjoy lunch, dinner, or the best happy hour in Tallahassee. At Bella Bella, we live up to our name and make sure your visit is truly one of beauty.
Welcome back from the break. Want to throw this to Ann real quick because
Sure.
you did a fantastic. We talked about Brian in the monologue a minute
Right.
ago, and Brian Pitts. I wanted to mention that.
Clarify, sure.
Yeah. So
Because you're Brian too.
So Brian Pitts is a lobbyist. Now he's not a registered lobbyist. You
He's
said?
not a lobbyist. He is a citizens activist. But I mean, the fact that you think he's a lobbyist goes a long way because the guy is in every single committee meeting. He travels up to Tallahassee every single session with his one partner, Miss Anderson, and they just make sure that they know what's going on. They make sure that they talk to lawmakers on the floor, privately, not to lobby them, just to understand what's going on so that they can be the voice of people. Florida.
He works harder than most lobbyists.
He works very hard.
He clearly works harder than Tim Parsons at Liberty. No, I'm teasing Tim.
Tim has a campaign going on. Don't be too hard on him.
Yeah,
or maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't.
I tell you what, Tim Parsons at Liberty Partners will be very busy if Ron DeSantis actually does get in the race, and especially if he wins. But
Chris, you're gonna
back to,
keep
back
him
to
busy,
Brian
I'm sure.
Pitts. And
Brian Pitts.
Brian Pitts,
He's a talker.
he's busy too because doesn't he own a 900 number you mentioned in the last week's
No,
segment?
he doesn't. He not anymore. Not anymore. But he did. He did run a 900 number. He was into real estate. Graduated from high school 2 years early. Was in Colts. He had a lot going on.
He does. This is a fascinating interview.
Very interesting life. And so for anyone who knows Brian Pitts, he can talk. He is a great speaker, and he can be a little long-winded sometimes. So what we did as part of the interview process with him to get to know him better and how he got to Florida into session every single year, one of the things we did was a rapid fire question and answer session.
And it went well, right?
We got answers. I don't know if we could really call it rapid fire after the fact.
Didn't work with the rapid fire.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. What is your middle name?
No, there's no middle name.
What is your favorite color?
Oh my goodness. I don't.
Okay, what's your favorite food?
Okay. Maybe purple or blue, maybe in that range. Well, actually, the colors that I wear. So a lot of times it's going to be the blue. A lot of times it's going to be brown. Okay, this color here. Okay, so blue, brown. But food, oh my goodness. There's a large assortment of food I'll have. I'm sorry, it's no unique one because I like to try something all the time.
Sure. Where do you live in Tallahassee?
A lot of times, yeah, because
Downtown, midtown, out of town.
no, when I'm out of there, I don't want to see it. Okay, so I'm far away. Usually it's around. I'll choose somewhere around I-10, so you can't see it. But it's got to be near the Walmart because it's Walmart near the I-10. Got to be near Walmart. Okay, so anywhere around I-10 is far enough. Okay, on that side of Monroe.
What is your favorite TV show?
Oh no! Oh my goodness! History Channel, anything that come on that History Channel, True TV, or National Geographic, both of them. Okay, any of those shows.
Who's your favorite singer?
Oh my goodness! I still come from kind of old school. I don't like the New Jacks, majority of them at all. Okay, I know of them, but that ain't the music I grew up with. So I grew up with stuff like Luther Vandross, Anita Baker, okay, even a lot of the European, when the European invasion came back in the 80s, so you found out Duran Duran, Sheena Easton, those kind of groups, Huey Lewis in the News, Chicago, okay, I mean that's, those type of this new stuff, I just can't. I know who they are because you need to know what's going on, but they do not. It's not original anymore.
Can you dance?
Got to be able for that. Okay. Music, because music never changed on that. Dance is dance. But of course, you're going to see the old stuff. So, but there's not much new dances today anyway, really. Okay, even with the house stuff, and techno, what remains of it. Okay, it's not many new dances. So most of them I know. And actually, I keep up to speed with them because there's manuals and books and videos on those. So yeah, I try to be well-rounded. Okay, but yeah.
What websites do you read every morning?
I seem to be led to Florida Trend. It always the politics.com. Obviously, anything Associated Press is running off. Okay. So always that's going to link you to Tampa Bay Times, Miami stuff. It's going to link you to all that because eventually they syndicate. Obviously, News Florida. Not News Florida, but the
Florida News Service.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. A lot of times, yeah, that's what's coming, and that's for anything, not just legislative stuff. I don't want to know what's going on, of course, around the world. Of course, the shootings continue, throughout the state, the different school and workplace shootings. So yes, the MSN stuff, the money stuff. So yeah, because I want to know what's going on with the Dow.
Who's your favorite actor?
That I've gotten out of. Yeah, I've gotten out of the sports stuff, really.
So not exactly rapid fire. He's a great guy, though. I really enjoyed my time with Brian. He's very, very smart.
Thank you, Brian Pitts, for being on the show. Thank you to Tim Parsons this week for on short notice coming up with the DeSantis spoof video. Once again, I want to make sure everybody knows that wasn't.
I think you do need to clarify.
It wasn't really him.
He fooled a member of the Capitol Press Corps, a guy who's pretty up to date on stuff. So yeah, that.
Not really Ron DeSantis.
Now I think it
but
is.
But you will
important
see
to
him
clarify.
again, I'm guessing.
Yes,
You'll see more of Tim and Ron DeSantis, probably both.
Well, we've got more clones being made, don't we? As I understand it, you're getting other. Okay.
We
He's
do have
making
other
more
clones.
clones.
We do have other clones. And I'm not talking about Gwen Graham and her haircut to look like Adam Putnam. I'm not talking about that clone.
Okay, not that clone.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on The Capitolist.